All right, guys, and we are right back. Apologies for the bit of the delay there, but we actually started a bit earlier than we were ready for. But we are heading right on into this one. Just need to get everything still set up right. This happened a bit sooner than I was ready. Cthulhu, you're still here, right, mate?
Yes. I am here indeed, and we just gone through the ban phase, which I barely managed to catch.
Yeah, a bit unfortunate for that. So, band phases, we've got the Habana, the Glaz, the Mirror, and the Echo banned on out.
Yeah, and I mean, banning out Habana is definitely going to be a bit of a hindrance for the attack, now that they only have Maverick and a Thermite to deal with. But at the same time, this is definitely going to be beneficial for Avant. Mirror and the Echo out as a fairly basic. Very basic kind of ban, especially for Clubhouse. And Church Arsenal going to be a fairly default, pretty standard pick for the first defense round, and let's see how that's going to play out, because we've been prophesizing that it's going to be a very one-sided match in favor of Orglas, whereas I was saying that after this showcase on Villa, it is going to be a very close game, and I guess the first several rounds will be the showcase of whether either of us were right, because I mean, Luna has been popping off like substantially.
Yeah, I suppose. Sorry to interrupt you, but I just want to say, for Avant's favour, they are starting on defense. You feel like you can really get going on defense in Clubhouse, can't you?
Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah, Clubhouse is favoured quite substantially in some of the points towards the defense, in my opinion. But at the very same time, I do want to point out that maybe Orglas might get back into it, because they have been shown quite badly.
Ethan.
There's a lineup. There's a lineup for Ethan as well, with a pre-fire through the wall. F in chat, boys and girls, as just like that, two people are gone on a very late rotation.
Did he even open up the wall? Was that just a wallbang?
That was just a wallbang, just a pre-fire.
Jesus. Beautiful early pick there for Orglas. They're now at a, what is it, a two-man advantage in this round. It's more of a, you lose, you've played it badly, rather than you lose, it was a well-fought round, but you lost it. Yeah,
but at the same time, Joey is a bit undecisive on which bolt to use in the blue tunnel, as there's still congestion right by the electrical box in the face of Jaeger being played by Flossie, and already the hatches are being popped open, as the rest of Orglas are just about to be prepping to push in. Silex a bit underthrow.
Yeah, a bit of an underthrow there for Silex, of course, but no matter in the end. Is still going to burn that ADS.
Yeah, meanwhile, Ethan is continuing to go for a triple check now, up the top now, to ensure that there won't be any more of the rotations, which before were pretty much the bane of Orglas on Villa.
Yeah, it definitely was. Those rotations flanks did so much damage, but it's definitely going to be a lot harder for them to do it now, as they are pretty much trapped down on this bomb site. This is one of those bomb sites where you either need to roam from the get-go, which, of course, that's what Fisher and Copper were set up to do, or you have to hard anchor. And, now they're stuck in a situation where they have to hard anchor with 3 members against the full force of Orglas.
And Orglas this time fairly swiftly managing so far to get the openings, but Dirk now is going to be opening a couple of holes just to ensure himself maybe a swift frag, as Bandit is completely unknowledgeable about the existence of those peak holes, but it doesn't look like Dirk is actually knowledgeable about that at all, as well as the Thermite chart will be now going off without any contest, and as Flossie will be the first person to peek out, as Silex and Emorin pick up a kill each. There's one person left, as that is Luna, and Emorin will be shutting her down as well. That is a big, fast, action-packed end of the round that Orglas should have shown during Villa.
Yeah, well, it felt like it was kick-started by that big 2K to kick things off with.
True.
Yeah, like, you're in a 5-on-3 within 20, 30 seconds of the round starting, the chances of you winning that round go down pretty quickly, don't they?
True. Yeah, I have to agree with you on that, but at the same time, I mean, man, some of the plays, like sitting right next to that breach and then deciding to push out. Yes, you could have the element of surprise, but at the same time, why would you do that? Swap the angle around and wait for them to start pushing up, because otherwise you will be in a lot of pain.
Yeah, well, Avant, they're going to attempt the exact same bomb site this time. I think the plan is Fisho and Copper don't die at the start. I think that's the only plan they're going to make. Change
that will be the ideal turn up for Avant, just not to lose that quickly their two players. But let's see if the trend of Orgless maybe picking up the pace will continue, or whether it was just a fluke and Avant will get back on their feet.
Yeah, let's see, shall we? Lossy quickly reinforcing these hatches. Fish is still on the bomb site once as well.
5 seconds to go.
Yeah, because at the moment so far, like looking at the whole setup, they decided to once again try the armory and church, because last time was a bit of an unfortunate just turn of events in general. And Dirt might actually catch a couple of rotations off guard, with the hatch actually from construction being popped open as well. So a good idea for Dirt to try to maybe get a couple of peeks onto the top side, which will be, I believe, fully free for the attackers to take. And just a good idea in general. Clear out the top floor, go for a very generic top to bottom clear, and after that go for it. But it seems that even the ground floor won't be really contested by AV, as they will be just anchoring and holding their places just all in around the objective.
Yeah, everyone on site here for Avant. So it looks like, you know, that roam that they set up earlier, there's more of just a bit of a fake. You know, they set the mute jammer upstairs and then they all went down. Of course, you know, the more players you have run up can definitely spread out the footprints and the such. Dirtpay looks like he's going to be entering into Dirt Tunnel, but I think it was Fisho guy wants to try and deny him that, holding it down.
Most definitely, but the Dirt already opening up several pushing points with his breaching torch. It's definitely going to be a good addition for Orgless's push, whereas Joey is going to be getting some information, trying to be as sneaky as possible with his drone to get some knowledge as Ethan runs into another mine. But nothing just yet, and already half a round has been burnt off. Not a single frag has been made from either side.
Yeah, lots of information being gathered here. Ethan's going to be... Oh, it's so close there. Emo in from above. See, enemy detected outside. Oh no, Copper, you're in for a world of hurt, as he's going to get himself stuck in the freezer. Surely he's going to try and go for the rotate back. And oh, he's actually going to find one. Ethan goes down before Emo Rin's going to trade him on back. Oh gosh, that was a big ballsy play that really should not have worked as well as it did.
Hey, not at all, and losing Buck right now is also not a not a pleasant thing to happen. The impact charge is gonna actually come out, and oh, that was completely denied by the impact. But there's the 2 kills from 2 players of Orgless, 2v4 now, with 18 seconds on the clock. And Vicious will be getting the kill onto Silence, but will be traded out straight away by Emo Ren. And Luna gets the better of Emo Ren, and now 2v1 situation. The 8 seconds will be running down. Luna needs to keep on hiding and keep on fragging, gets another kill. But Joey at the end with a pistol will be shutting her down. Another round is going into the hands of Orgless, and I don't think I've been speaking that fast for a while now.
Yeah, that was a very swift ending to the round, and we did see more fight back that time from Avant, but it was still Orgless that controlled the pace there and ultimately got the round victory.
Yes, and a very swift victory, I might add, but at the end a little bit sloppy, losing so many people to the last moment push, even with a man advantage. But overall, well played, good round, 2-0 advantage over AV, and so far your prophecy is coming true for now.
Yeah, well, there we go. We're going to see Joey switch from the Thatcher to the Capitao, as we are going to see a bomb site change here from Avant up to the gym bedroom. Now that's, you know, of course, following the philosophy of 2 and move. You lose it twice, you should try it, try somewhere else before you give it another whirl.
Yeah, and I do think that Avant might have a bit more flexibility on defending the gym and bedroom. As we've taken a look at the scoreline, Ren doing a fair chunk of kills for his team, with sitting with 5 frags, whereas the top fragger for Avant is currently Luna with only 2 frags, unfortunately for her.
Yeah, looks like Avant are going to go for a very spread out hold, as, you know, is the meta on this bomb site these days, fully reinforced up in CCTV. And, oh, I think Copper wants to go for a run out. This guy's been so aggressive early on pretty much every time. Cannot a run out, but at least a spawn peek of some kind.
Yeah, well, Copper is the man for that and ready to roll, and apart from that, really, what there is to it, Copper decides to just fall back and not risk his life for this one.
Yeah, he's going to get back, of course. You know, it's more of, it is a tactic to slow down your opponent. It's a bit risky, but, you know, if done correctly, it can, you know, add a valuable 20-30 seconds onto your round. I was going to say, interesting to say that Copper actually hasn't put down any of his utility. He hasn't put down any of those batteries. Looks like he has now, however.
Yeah, a bit of a late one, but still worked out for him fairly well. The Maverick burning has already done plenty of utility, just as a hidden attempt to cover off the rotations, but interestingly enough, I don't think any of the Avant players are actually expecting or covering that hole, for that matter.
Yeah, there's no need to, of course. Like, you know, once the Maverick's gone and done his job, it's going to be very hard to deny the thermite charge.
That is...
Of course, it has been blown open, just not fully. They're going to see Flossie find Silex as the first frag of this round, pushing from the opposite side to where we saw that thermite charge go off.
Yeah, and losing already a thermite, even though after he used up his breaching charge, is definitely not what you would want right now. But at the very least, you can still you can still use them to have that flank watch.
Yeah, we're going to see those frag grenades thrown over the wall there. It's going to take out some of the utility. I think Fisho's taken some damage as well, but he's still alive. We're going to see Derpe open up an angle through the wall. Oh, he's just going to miss the head there. Can't quite land anything just yet. Right, he's going to open up another angle. They're having a real tough time forcing these members of Avant out, aren't they?
Yeah, they definitely are also running out of time as well with that. And Derp will be attempting to get some flashing going on, but Joey will be getting the kill onto Fisho, but completely missing Luna. At all knowledge of the positioning of the Avant player, and just like that, Copper will also be able to score a frag for himself. Ethan now and Imoren, the remaining 2 players of Orgos, will be attempting to get some closure as, oh, nice double kill from both of them. Now 2v2 situation, 12 seconds left, and Imoren is quite low on health, so Ethan will need to start the spearhead of this push. The pushing is happening. The plant does need to come in, as Emo is the one who has the diffuser, and unfortunately Orgos will be running out of time. And Avant scoring their first winner on this map.
Yeah, round does go to August, but we are still, of course, waiting for the admin response for that issue with the thermite breach, of course. So, as you know, we're not exactly sure what the ruling is until a ruling is made.
Yes. But, yeah, whilst we're waiting for that decision, CCTV and Cash will be the decision for Avant's next defense. Orgos will be bringing the very same setup, whereas Avant will be busting out Flossie with Ella, with a 6-pick onto Ella. So,
defenders, protect your bombs from being defused by attackers.
Quite curious whether Avant will be able to repeat their success like they did in the just previous round.
Yes, definitely. Very similar lineup, of course. The Maverick, you know, we see so often banned on Clubhouse just because he makes opening up some of those walls so much easier. But that being said, right, like the fact that he's here means that it's going to be very hard for Avant to deny a lot of those angles getting opened up.
10 seconds to insertion.
Oh yeah, most definitely.
5 seconds.
But now, I had an idea, but completely lost it. That's my bad. That was dumb. No.
Oh, is this a FO12 we're seeing here, Cthulhu?
Yes. The shotgun that was popularized within with the Aces play out during the Pro League finals with his run out, and I believe that was a 3K. And Dirk might get some closure, but not from this particular angle, I believe.
Yeah, it's just opened up, but can't find anything from it, whereas Ethan gonna completely buck open the wall from Spa, from Jacuzzi, I'd say. Just get a bit of extra height on his drone there, see what he can see. But we do have one player over here, and also we have the bandit on the stairs. Of course, he has been droned out, but how aware are they of these the presence of these defenders?
I'm not too sure if they are aware at all, because there is a lot of breaching, a lot of opening, but Ethan seeming to be just poking holes in the sky and just hoping for the best, because yes, there is a Silex, but I'm not too sure. He will be spotting the wild drummer, and here's the grenade coming out. Ooh, whiffing the shots onto Fisher. Will be losing his life, but Dino will be getting the better off Copper, but Fisher got continuing his reign as Derek is now gone and down and out. And that is the whole west side push completely throttled.
Yeah, so Fisher guy finding 2 quick frags. He was on the roam, like he shouldn't be able to survive for so long, as Flossie will also drop to Emo Ren. Fisher guy has taken a lot of damage though.
Yeah, he did. So now his main objective right now to fall back to the side, get himself reset and get back up and running, because he has managed already to do a great amount of input, but instead of deciding to get himself a reset, he will be continuing to contest the same angle with the SMG-11, which compared to even the Power 308 would definitely deal a much higher damage per second.
Well, he's also gone and put himself back in that exact same position underneath the desk, although Joey is going to land a flashbang right in front of him. Oh, but he hasn't seen him! Oh,
no,
he's going to stand up,
Joey.
doesn't quite let the shots, but now he is through the desk before Sykes is going to finish him off. He's going to be able to pick up Joey as well. Wow. That was too close. 15 seconds. Vicious and Luna are going to have to try and hold on to the little time remaining here. Sykes is going to hit the Ella charge as well, so can't quite full on start pushing. He's going to hit the goo mine is Luna, and Vicious going to get a frag each, leaving it all up to Vicious. Joey, and he's not going to find anything, and time out. There we go. Avant putting their second up on the board.
Yeah, and I'm baffled by that turnout, because well, first of all, that mute play was very well played. His positioning was great in that regard, and really not much to say about how August performed it, but Avant managed to play out their cards very well and very thoroughly. So at this moment, Avant continuing their reign, they managed to secure themselves those 2 rounds in a row, and August seeming to be back again to being a bit lost on how to perform and forced to be playing in a very solo manner.
Yes, well, they are going back to the bomb site that they lost twice in a row. Now, we have got a ruling, on, of course, on that issue we had earlier with the thermite charge, guys. It's, the round is still going to count. I believe it was 30 seconds into the round, and of course, there had been some damage dealt, so no rehost ability according to the rulebook from that point. So it is still going to count. even though it was a bit unfortunate for it to happen. And those things can really throw a team off, can't they? But, you know, let's not focus on that. Let's focus up on this as Copper. Oh, this man, he just wants to stick his head out at the start of every round, doesn't he?
Yeah, he's the big risk taker of Avant, but we did see several times that his risk kind of paid off with him being able to damage a fair few players of Orgless.
Yeah, well, drones are out and about, even though we're seeing a lot of mute play here from Avant, right? It's really meant to deny a lot of the drone ability we're seeing from Orgless, but it's, I don't know, it really feels like there's still quite a few drones are getting through, doesn't it?
Yeah, a few drones did manage to get through his... Oh, Mama, their pay will be going down to the very same spot that he kept on peeking for 3 rounds in a row, and Copper this time will be able to learn that pattern.
Oh, look at Emo Ren's position too. He's right around the corner. In fact, he's looking the wrong way in the crossfire. It's going to finish him off with Copper credited with a kill. We're going to see Joey quick reactions there to trade out Flossie, putting us back to a 3-on-3 with just a minute gone. Wow, this has been an explosive start here in round number 5.
And for Orgless right now, they have still a good chunk of the of utility. You still have the Salt Breacher, you have the Smokes, and you have the Hard Breacher left. Whereas for the attack, yeah, you still have the a very good loadout-wise Legion with full health, and Vicious with his Alda. They could completely demolish the whole offense with still plenty of time for both teams to react.
Yeah, they've got a minute 30 now. Orgless here to push Vicious and Luna, who are the anchors on the bomb site. Of course, Luna still being alive means she can start getting down those Q mines, delaying the time it's going to take for those attackers to get into the bomb site. And Vicious on the Maestro can still move those cameras. He can still, you know, he's still a 3 armor, so he's a thick boy and he can take a lot of damage.
Oh yeah. And now we're witnessing both people managing. I mean, both surfaces being breached, being hatched in the kitchen and the escape tunnel. So that would open a 3 points of entry for Orgless on their attempt. But both of those are being watched quite carefully by both members of Avant. So right now they will need to either go for the aiming case or just go for the element of surprise. The darts have been gone away. Luna picks up a kill onto Alex as Ethan is going down, but Joey gets to keep better of Luna. Now in a 1v1 situation, Vicious is definitely an advantage here with him having still full health, but he is blinded. He needs a miracle to actually get the best of him. And wow. Just wow, as Vicious manages to get the better of Joey after Joey, unfortunately for himself, does take a fair while to get over to the Maestro after being unsure whether he was blinded or not.
Yeah, the difference there, right, was the fact that Joey was super lit, whereas Vicious was still full HP. So, of course, Joey did have him fully flashed up. As you said, he had to get over there, and then, of course, he had to hit his shots, but it looks like he just wasn't quick enough there, and all Vicious had to do was just land 1 bullet on, which he did, and that sent the round into Avant's favour. So we saw 2 in a row for Orgless, and now 3 back for Avant.
Yeah, and just like that, Avant managed to kind of bring it back from a 2-0 disadvantage. So right now, this is definitely working out the best way possible for all things considered. Even after a very quick and very good first half on the previous map. That's what I meant.
Well, here we go into the next round here. Back to the gym and bedroom in the final round of the half. Avant, after going 2 down, have managed to take a lead, as we mentioned, 2-3. So we're going to either see a 4-2 scoreline or 3-3 at the half. Kifili, how are you feeling? Which one are we going to see?
I'm feeling a 4-2 in favor of Avant for this one.
10 seconds remaining.
Because so far the attack of Orgless has been up and down really, and last time we saw them go for this attack on this side, there was a thermite bug, unfortunately, which ended up, well, you could argue that that ended up scoring the win for Avant, but at the same time, maybe there could have been a completely different turnout.
Yeah, well, we might see how differently that could go as Derpe is the first to arrive on the scene. He's going to start opening up momentarily. I can feel for sure on that one, although he's accidentally going to rappel down. Doesn't want to expose his feet. He's going to start opening that one up nice and slowly. Ethan on the other side of the map. Sounds like he's engaging in towards Cash Room, of course, fully reinforced once again here from Avant.
And meanwhile, Derp will continue to pop it open. Emo needing to start pushing with Ethan, the duo, the explosive duo of Orglas that, well, usually would think that it will be the ones popping off, but as of recently, we have been seeing a very shaky performance, really.
Oh, was that a down through the wall there by Emo Rin? Oh, no, sorry, it was just someone going prone as Copper will find Ethan, however, that's the buck off the board. Oh, Emo Rin's going to find that kill every day of the week as Fisher Guy just strafes right out into his crosshair. All he had to do was click, and that evens up the man count, but he's not going to win that one. Copper with a quick wide peek before he's traded back by Joey. Trades for days as we're left in a 3-on-3 with 1:20 on the clock.
Yeah, and Silex already used up both of his exothermic charges. Will be able to get the opening into the construction, so that hurdle has been passed, being the cash room. Now it's the logistics and the actual site, which might be quite a challenge, being a 3v3 with a minute left to go.
Yeah, a minute left to go, 3v3.
Not really that much of a health difference as well between the three players of each side.
Yeah, it really looks like Orglas aren't exactly sure how they want to attack this. It looks like they're completely avoiding Jacuzzi Wall, and they might have a plan for that, as Luna is going to find the kill onto Joey. We're going to see the push up there from Sykes, finds the headshot onto Flossie, before he can remove that Guma, and once again it's trades and back and forth, back and forth. Derpe and Silex both in logistics. Silex going to move into construction, in fact, as they're going to set up a second angle of attack. Going to see the smoke grenade. Oh, just completely denied as Silex will shoot it. Or did he? I'm not quite sure.
And Silex already taken a fair chunk of damage as well from that attempt to peek, as he might actually lose his life to this one, as there's the peek from Vicious, and now Luna will be closing it out as yet another round is going into the hands of Avant, and it doesn't seem that they're planning to stop anytime soon.
Yeah, well, 4-2 at the half. As you predicted, I must say.
Yes, but I mean, with the way how this has been going so far, it feels kind of natural seeing Avant play it out like that, but I'm curious whether Orglas will be able to turn it back on their defense.
Yeah, well, this is a very defender-sided map. Like, one of the things we did mention, we saw in the invitational qualifiers for the qualifier, was we saw Orglas take a 6-0 lead on defense, right? Only for Dark-Sided to bring it all the way back and win it 8 rounds in a row.
True.
Defenders, protect your bombs.
True. That is a good point to note out. But with the way how Orglas have been performing so far, it doesn't feel like it, honestly, because before, like what we saw, the match that you mentioned, we had a very smashing kind of loss at the hands of Orglas before against the Dark-Sided, and then Dark-Sided managing to pull it back on the second map, whereas this one has been going back and forth even during Villa. So right now I'd say there's also the factor of the fatigue settling in at the players, which, to be fair, I would say could be the big reason why Orglas are going to be underperforming on their usual play style.
You know, Emo Rin's going to be the one who's going to be roaming on about upstairs. He was on the CCTV, he was in construction as well. Also, just making some holes in the windows. If there's a jackal on the board, make them have to start tracking him out. But no, he's just going to get back to the bomb site, isn't he?
Yeah. Copper, meanwhile, will be making his way over to the oil pit. Just being very extra careful. And funnily enough, he does bring a breach charge rather than the... I believe that is the...
Claymore on Ying, isn't
yeah,
it?
the Claymore, yeah, on Ying. So maybe a mispick by Copper, but
I think it's more of the fact that they've got no buck or no other operator's going to do a lot of top down. Like I suppose your only other operator is Flossie on the Zofia, right? You can make 2 holes, but you know, with 3 breaching charges as well, you can definitely get a lot of coverage, you know, on the top down angles.
Interestingly enough, nobody is actually contesting the blue tunnel, so
Attackers have located a bomb.
so that would allow a much more free push for Avant to go for, which is a bit of a oddity to me, because usually Orgulus would have one person at least covering the blue tunnel, but this time they're just playing very close by to the objective, not even expanding into the blue tunnel.
Here we go. We're going to see also some angles made up from the hallway into church. Luna starting that pinch from blue tunnel, as you mentioned as well. No one's really exposing themselves. We see Imorin's going to find Flossie as the first pick. We did hear that Candela go off, but no one seems to have capitalized of it, as Derpe will find Luna. Imorin onto Fisho. This is going really badly here for Avant, as Imorin will take some damage, but still not having found a single frag here for Avant on their first round of attack. Nitrocell's going to come on out, but it's not going to land near Vicious. So there's 45 seconds to go, and these 2 players have a mountain to climb.
Yeah, and just like that, like just as I was saying that Avant has all the means to go for it, just like that, 5v2, and the main kind of carry of Avant 5v1 make it, yep, just about to be probably 5v0 as Def will be closing it out on the Vicious. I was just about to say that so far Avant has been showing great prowess on defense, but Clubhouse itself is a very defensive map.
Yeah.
And so my question right now is, can Orgulus pull it all back for themselves? Because they are currently on 1 point difference, like we had before on Villa, and after that we saw a complete smashing turnout by Avant. So, and even in the way how they played it out, Copper lost. Was dead first in the whole firefight.
Yeah.
They're bringing in a Caveira. That should be spicy, Monkey. What do you reckon?
It's going to be very interesting, isn't it? You know, we've seen, of course, Caveira brought out a few times in Pro League. It honestly, it has some quite mixed results, doesn't it?
It did show, yeah. Well, a very mixed result, yeah. But when it does work out, when you do manage to pop off with a Caveira, that's when you start getting all the good stuff, all the grand sauce, I believe.
Yeah, I thought there was going to be more words coming after that, but no, the sauce. I like it.
The sauce.
The sauce.
Raw sauce.
It's the sauce to the meatballs, is it, the Caveira? But, alright, let's look at the position that Caveira's playing. Is she going to stick around here as they, you know, extend out to cash room from their bedroom hold here? I think it might, right? Like, can you imagine having a shotgun and then also the pistol close range up? It's just going to melt anyone that tries to force their way into cash room. It's like pretty much a pretty heavy lock on those doors, isn't it?
Yeah, that would be the big lock that Orgulus might be trying to go for. But at the same time, at the moment you step out of that close range, he doesn't really have that much of a bite apart from being able to headshot with her pistol. But that also requires some prowess with her, compared to you having, let's say, a hollow sight MP7, which you can just spray down the shots far down the range and call it a day.
Well, it's going to see a very similar attack to what we saw Orgulus doing, right? They're going to have their buck open up on top of box, and they're just going to start entering in. I think I heard a Maestro camera to the to the left of Fisher got.
Attackers have located a bomb.
I'm not sure just yet.
He's going to nade it yet. I heard it moving, and I think that might have been what gave it away for the Avant lads.
Could have been that, but interestingly enough, there's one roamer currently in the small supply room, and Avant, I do believe, managed to probably get a hint about it. Yes, Fisher did manage to draw them out, so that will force Ethan to fall back and relocate, maybe default back to the side, as that will be probably the more a more safe choice. The first Candela will be coming out, but no, nothing just yet. Another Candela will be eaten up, and Joey managing to shut down Copper. There's a shotgun, does manage to down Fisher guy as well. That is the kills that right now August wanted, but Flossie trades out Silex very quickly. Oh, there's a little bit of a team damage.
Yeah, there's been a lot of team damage from the members of Avant, hasn't it? As Ethan's going to find Luna looking the wrong way. They're leaving it all up to Vicious and Flossie. Yeah, bit miscoordinated with the Yang. No real, I suppose it was more of like a solo idea rather than a coordinated push, wasn't it? And suddenly they're at a 4-on-2 disadvantage with 50 seconds on the clock. Looks like they are going to have access to the bomb site. That's a nice shot from Flossie to bring one back. But they've still got to worry about the flank, but they've got the whole bomb sites in their control. Oh, Derpay with the Coca Ball. He's going to catch himself a Flossie. And Joey's going to finish things off on to Vicious, as that's going to be August pulling it back to 4-4.
Yeah, and good turnout, all things considered. But you do also want to point out that first of all, point out that Flossie feels a little violated, and second of all, that Avant had a fair chunk of misplay during that whole round. Like, two-man push with one person peeking at a time. So Buck sort of used that nade to get rid of at least one of the charges of ADS. So then you throw in one of the Candelas, get rid of another charge, and then spam the other two Candelas and just push in, because you know that they have such a big radius that eventually at least one of the players will be blinded. So you just go in for the peek, get the frag, and call it a day. Yeah,
it seemed like they didn't want to commit behind it, did they? They kind of threw them in and like half committed but half didn't, and ultimately that's what led to their downfall.
Yeah. But nonetheless, we will be seeing now a cash and CCTV defense, where August will need to emphasize their whole defensive formation, whereas Avant will be bringing in a long time for their approach.
Yes, this is something we're seeing a lot from the Asian regions, of using the Monty to force their way up catwalk. And, you know, there's kind of a whole meta game within the Asian region of, you know, just... Derpay, can you not...
5 seconds.
Yeah, okay, there we go.
Oh, come on.
He's like looking at the vending machine, and, you know, the two succulent drones there, he's just ignoring. But, sorry, yeah, there's a bit of a whole meta game in the Asian region of like how to deny the Monty making his way up on catwalk here in Garage.
Yeah, and there's so many iterations of holding that, like this one, oh, you can tag it up just a little bit by the pre-fire, I believe. And yeah, having the Maestro usually is a good idea, just due to the fact that he has a massive magazine, a good weapon, ACOG, and he has the cameras that see through the smoke. So if you're having a smoke, which we don't have on this map particularly, you can easily counter him.
He can. Oh, this is a bit dangerous here for Vicious. He's the thermite and he's the one peeking. He's actually going to expose his legs to anyone looking through, but no, it looks like August are not wanting to peek as much, right? Like, the thing is, once someone's opening up something like that, one can be repelling where we saw Luna was. You can just shoot through that hole that's made. Well, but look at Copper's position on the Monty. I said he was probably going to be pushing catwalk, but no, he's just waltzed right into construction. Going to be spotting out a lot of these defenders, as they know there's nothing they can do about his presence right now.
Yeah, not just yet, at least, as Copper will be trying to maybe contest something. Luna will be picking up a first kill on Alex, who is being quite a bit distracted for the fight situation just like that, and they're still being distracted onto that shield operator. The shield guy will be going down. There's a peek from Copper as he will be trading out there. Joey and Ethan pick up a kill for each. Ethan gets another one, all up to Luna now to try to close this up before August might potentially get the point up.
Ooh, she spots out the player but can't quite land the shot, so it's going to readjust a position to look up the stairs from inside the garage. Surely she's made enough noise that they know she's here. In fact, they're going to send out the smoke babe just to deny her, but 45 seconds on the clock, I should say. She's got time, but 1 on 3 and they know exactly where she is. It's going to be tough.
What is also well played right now is that Orgless are playing very safe. They know that there's a 1v3, but they're not hungry for the kills. They're just playing a patient game.
My Rin, give him a pixel and he'll take it a mile.
Oh yeah. And with that in mind, though, Orgless are now well, 1 round away from gaining themselves a match point, which could, at the very least, guarantee them a draw.
Yeah, they've managed to solve any issues they've been having. You know, they haven't had the lead, well, they went 2 up and then they haven't had the lead since it was taken back by Avant, but this is the first time they've put themselves back in that position, as they're now heading back to Church and Arsenal Room, which was a flawless round, by the way.
Yeah, so now the main question will be for Avant, can they readjust for how Orgless or ex-Atletico defend the side? Because, yeah, like you mentioned, it was a flawless one. Copper this time will be continuing his crusade as a one-time player. And I'm a bit questioning that choice. Looking at also the Monty, yeah, especially on this current setup, because Monty, I feel that he doesn't contribute enough, especially on the Church and Arsenal room. And the reason why I'm saying this is because there's not enough fragging power, because usually the playthrough of the downstairs is just put a lot of firepower down the range. That's it.
One thing I will say though is we saw a lot at the Invitational Qualifier LAN, right? Every single one of the Asian teams, so Japan, Korea and Southeast Asia, I think they all had 100% pick rate of Monty on Clubhouse here. Like, they bring him every single round. I really feel like Clubhouse is a map where he can be used quite effectively. I think he's not as useful attacking the basement, but I think he can still be useful, especially like, you know, the way these Asian teams were using him of, you know, he's a blunt object you can just force into any position, and it's very hard for the defenders to get out. And we saw what Copper was doing, right, is opponents were just ignoring him because they're like, it's just a Monty, and they need to go into the ADS, and yeah, picked up a kill for it before he was quickly refragged, but still, like, it's something that, you know, I feel like we don't see enough in ANZ. It could definitely play into Avant's hands.
Oh yeah, I'm not saying that Monty per se is a useless operator. It's just on some of the occasions or some of the plans he might be a bit lackluster. But when there is a very good play by a one-time player, I can appreciate the grace of that, I guess you could say.
Yeah, and look, he's also very immobile as an information gatherer, right? Like, you can see the information he was gathering right there. He's saying, all right, rotate on ping. Got, you know, it should be clear apart from that, bit of barbed wire here and there and everywhere, but like, yeah, it's definitely an operator that I feel isn't utilised as much in ANZ, but you know, we can worry about that, we can talk about it for as much as we want, but it won't change what these pro players are doing, as we've got a minute on the clock, and a very anchor heavy hold here from Orgless has been very slowly pushed back by Avant.
Yeah, but at the same time, already 2 minutes gone and not a single frag has been dealt. Orgless are now still on full health, whereas out of Avant, like, only Copper is being tagged down. There we go, there's a death of the shield player. And Luna will be now attempting to go for a peek. Does tag up the, I believe that is the smoke player, as Flossie will be taken out there. Another push in by Official. He will be securing some damage, but will be down eventually. And essentially, it is a 4v3 situation. Ethan will be picking up another kill. Vicious is trading out. Alex says Lona is picking up a kill into Joey, finally finishing off the smoke player. And now a 2v2 situation. Both players on a similar amount of health. There's a C4, it takes down Luna. There's the big fragger of Avant gone, and Imorin will be able to just find a swift headshot onto Vicious, gaining Orglas the the sixth point, and a little bit of a BM coming out from Imorin.
He's just got to answer his phone first. He doesn't want to ring in while he's defusing or destroying the diffuser.
Bit of a in-game banter between the two players. And just like that, Orglas now this time bringing it back and making it a 6-4, I believe.
Yeah, that's their own 4 rounds in a row, isn't it? We haven't had a round from Avant since they got their first 4 in a row, but at this point, Orglas know they've at least secured themselves some points, and you know, I'd probably say they're looking good to take it 7-4 at this point. Like, you know, so they've all their defenses have been very strong. Like, there hasn't really been too many close ones, has there?
Yeah, well, there were a couple of them where it was like 1v2, 1v1, but they were fairly swiftly were ridden off. Interestingly enough, that Avant didn't buy in on the bait of Derp bringing out Caveira once again, as the castle will be used for the gym and master bedroom, which I'd say is definitely a much more viable choice, as you can waste plenty amount of time with the castle barricades as well as some of the utilities.
Yeah, well, gym bedroom. We did see Derpe on the Caveira last time here, of course, remember, and then he 6-picked over to the castle this time. I was talking about how, you know, you can just do so much damage up close with the shotgun and with the pistol, but, you know, changing up for the castle, okay, fair enough. Like, I think it's a bomb site that does lend itself very well to the use of castle. So you see so often the walls that are facing the south just castled up. So
yeah, he's
windows.
a much more viable choice utility-wise, but he does lack in the firearm department, in my opinion. At the very least, with the UMP-wise, so shotgun is still a very good tool for destruction of both flash and any breachable materials.
We're going to see something swift here. I think we are.
Just might be, but Foxy unfortunately not being able to nail down the run through. Breaching the castle barricade. Finally, those breach charges on Ying come in use. And finally, we'll be seeing them.
One thing I want to point out, right, is we've got the 3rd player for Avant on Blitz. Now, this is the first time we're seeing on this map, but it's Luna this time.
Yeah.
This last ditch throw of the dice, is it?
It could be, yeah, it could be the last kind of desperate attempt as Luna decides to switch it up a little bit.
You're going to charge in right behind this thermite.
Seems like it. Copper is already nearly flicking over to the head of one of the defenders, but we'll be holding several very close angles. With Fisherguy now attempting to get some enclosure, but Joey will be getting the better of him at the CCTV, and Silex getting another one. All their heads are rolling now of Avant Gaming, as it doesn't seem that there will be anything close to the win.
Yeah, 5-on-2 here now, Vicious and Luna. It seems like it's these two all the time left in the clutch situation. We've got a minute to play with though, and they do have the diffuser and it seems like the bomb site in hand, but these players are going to be coming back very soon. Luna's going to try and deny them from coming back, but she's going to turn around and get the shot onto Emo Rin. Beautiful stuff, but those smoke canisters are coming in, trying to push her back and playing up close. It seems to be working as well, because she's going to have limited use of the shield at range.
Indeed she is, because the shield doesn't cover really that much of an area of her body, so she will be needing to play it a bit more careful, as I'm a bit curious why the plant not going down. The gym is in their full control. Just rotated over. Joey is getting taking some fair chunk of damage. Gets melee, but with a Pokeball once again strikes back as Vicious is now finally going for the plant. 1v3 situation, but the timer is now ticking down. So now it's Orglas' time to go for the push.
Yeah, Vicious, they know he's in the bathroom and he might be stuck in here, especially if they can open up the angle that we saw. What was it? Derpe spraying through before. We're going to see him find one, but Derpe will finish him off. And there we go. That is a 7-4 victory here for Auglis.
Yeah, very nice turnout of events for Auglis this time, as after losing 4 rounds in a row, they managed to bring it completely back. Derp at the end getting the defuse, and both teams getting the 3 points. Yeah, both teams get 3 points each after this play day.
Yeah,
a very good turnout for both of them, I'd say.
It really seems like Avant are that team that can get points off teams they're not really expecting to. And there we go, final kill accounts. Fisher Guy just the 2, but Imorin 15, Luna 11, Joey with 12. Some very strong performances from those players. But it is going to be an Auglis 7-4 win.
Indeed it is, and a much more confident performance